they will find that there is no difference between many of the young people sitting here and the speakers over here. So I would also particularly like to welcome our speakers. Most of them, except for the inaugural panel, most of them are in the same age group as many of you are here, in their 20s and early 30s or mid 30s. So welcome you all, and we'll start. May I request Father Abraham, our director, to kindly come on the stage. I would request Anshul from SAC to please come. And I request my boss, Saurav Kumar Das, Secretary Sigma, to please come on the stage. May I request one change which we brought about this year in the conference, which you will find again in every session, that every time when we call people on the stage, we would waste about 300 rupees per person by giving them a bouquet. Because that bouquet they would leave around, and then, I mean, in the process you cut a lot of flowers unnecessarily. So we thought we will change that, and so may I request one of you to kindly present them with the sapling. To Anshul. Thank you. And actually, let me also admit that I learned this trick from one of our speakers who's sitting there, Sujit Mahapatra, because he carried this sapling giving campaign, you know, in the weddings or birthdays, and he found that when you get a gift, you obviously keep it, and then the sapling grows. So, thanks, Sujit, for the copyright is yours. May I request Father Director, Father Abraham, Anshul, and Saurav to kindly light the lamp. And we have Ajay ji, aap aiye. And may I also request one of the students from either XISS or XIM Bhubaneswar. Please come. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Now I'll request Father Abraham, Director XLRI, to kindly give his welcome address.
Dear resource persons, speakers and participants of this conference, guests, members of the faculty, staff and students, and members of the media. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to XLRI and to the 7th offering of the National Conference on Social Entrepreneurship. I would especially like to thank the speakers and resource persons for this conference who accepted our invitation and who will be sharing the remarkable and innovative work they are doing. I also know that reaching Jamshedpur is not an easy task. and I would like to thank you especially for taking all the effort to be with us, to be part of this initiative. I'm happy that this conference we had launched in 2009 as part of a commemorating XLRA Diamond Jubilee has now become an annual feature in our and national schedule. I'm even more delighted that the theme for this conference this year is Young Change Makers, Youth as Social Entrepreneurs. We all know that throughout the history, social transformation have come through the initiative of entrepreneurship of youth, be it the social movements, creation of disruptive technology to change the society, and even winning freedom for nations. This is also a very relevant theme in contemporary India, which needs the energy and passion of the young generation to address some of the most critical issues which the country is facing. India is a country of young, with 430 million people in the age range of 15 to 34. In fact, estimates show that in 2020, youth will comprise of 64% of India's working population. This certainly holds the promise of our demographic dividends. However, if this youth power does not move into productive spaces of nation building, these dividends can also become our demographic liabilities. As some of you would know, the National Youth Policy 2014 of Government of India has charted out a momentous agenda for the younger generation. The policy has focused on promoting 5 key objectives which focus on: 1, instilling social values and promote community service to build national ownership; 2, facilitating participation and civic engagement at all levels of governance; 3, creating a productive workforce that can make a sustainable contribution to India's economic development; 4, developing a strong and healthy generation equipped to take on future challenges; and 5, supporting youth at risk and create equitable opportunity for all disadvantaged and marginalized youth. From the profiles of the speakers for this conference, I also find that you have been pursuing these objectives since many years, and I congratulate you for the inspiring work you are doing, and thank you for being here to share your experiences. In this gathering, I am told we have about 70 students from different campuses in the country, and many other young people who are working in the sector. I would particularly like to welcome you. Your participation is significant to us, since as an educational institution, you reconfirm XLRA's unique DNA and mission, that is, to promote future leaders with a sensitive social conscience. As some of you are aware, XLRA is the first and perhaps the only business school in the country to sign the UN Compact's Charter for Principles of Responsible Management Education of UN Global Compact. Among the 6 principles of PRIME, one specifically focuses on our role, not just as an institution imparting value-based education, but also as a social institution contributing to the efforts of others to promote a more inclusive and sustainable society. To quote this principle to which XLRA is committed to, we will facilitate and support dialogue and debate among educators, business, government, consumers, media, civil society organizations, and other interested groups and stakeholders on critical issues related to global social responsibility and sustainability. Organizing this conference is one such effort to facilitate dialogues among the key stakeholders in the development sector of this critical issue. I am sure that this conference will mark another major step in our journey to promote a more responsible and just society. I must also congratulate the organizing team for this conference, Dr. Madhuga Shukla and the core group of our professors of Father Arupe Center of Ecology and Sustainability and the students' Sigma team for their efforts in architecting this conference. I once again welcome you all to this conference and to XLRI and wish you all a very interesting and exciting time in the coming 3 days. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, be the change you wish to see in the world. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your inspiring words. I'll take some time to introduce the conference and the rationale behind that. There are two rationales about this conference. One is, of course, which all of us know, perhaps, if you look at this sector, the social entrepreneurial sector, or entrepreneurship to make a social impact, within recent times, within last 7, 8, 9, 8, 10 years, there have been a surge of, youth-formed ventures which have sustained. So we also thought that this is a time when we bring them together, we learn from, from them. I remember 3-4 years back, one very senior social entrepreneur had come for this conference, and he had said at that time, when we joined, and he must be in his 60s perhaps, so he joined somewhere in 1970 or something, and he said that when we joined, we had this ideology, we were either Gandhian, we were either Marxist, we were either part of the Jayaprakash Narayan movement. So where is the pipeline to this sector from? Young pipeline to the sector, because now I don't find people believing in that. And that's when one realized that there are people who are doing that. They may or may not subscribe to any of those ideologies. They may not even have read about Gandhi or Marxism or something, but there is a reason why they are doing it. And that was one of the reasons we thought that since we have now a significant number of youth-led social ventures, why not bring them together? So that was one rationale. The second rationale is like this: if we look at if we look at our own country, we are a pretty divided country. So on one hand, we are one of the fastest growing economy and part of BRIC and blah 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 blah. That's one part. On the other hand, we are among the lowest in terms of hunger index, in terms of Gini index, in terms of human development index. We have the largest number of malnourished children in the world. We have poverty which is lower than the sub-Sahara regions. So we have, we have two very different kind of Indias. So that's one grim picture. But then there's also the other picture, and that is I was mentioning, that if we look at within the last few years, there have been in the younger generation, at least our experience, and I'm sure many of my colleagues will agree. There are people who look for the regular career path, who look for that secure zone and remain in their comfort zones. But there are also a lot of young people who look at problems and they see that as an opportunity to address. They see that as an opportunity where they can make a difference. So they move out of those paths. And this number within the last few years, actually, more I think I would say anecdotal, or at least an impressionistic, has been growing. So that was the other reason, and that's why we thought that we'll have it. As I mentioned earlier, that this year, except for the first panel, which we'll have post-lunch, and I think seized off my panelist in that, Anshu and others. Because I said you are the only oldies. But all our other speakers are in their 20s and early mid-30s kind of range, which is, as I mentioned, is the same range. So one is to learn from their experience. So the first panel which we designed is with people like Ashraf Patel, Anshu Gupta, Rahul Nainwal, who have been working with this sector with this younger generation for a long time, for almost decade or more than that. So what they feel is the potential which they have experienced, because they have worked with hundreds of such people and created many similar kind of social entrepreneurs. Some of them actually are also part of our panels. So that was one, and then also learn from them, because one of the issues which I'm sure many of you who are here would be experiencing, that they would like to get into the sector, but then should I not, what will people think, what about my future, whether parents will agree or not, whether my boyfriend or girlfriend will agree or not, all those issues are there. So that's why we thought we will get three people who are passing through or have gone through this journey to talk about, to share about their own experience, that what made them enter into this sector. What was that कीड़ा, जो दिमाग पे थोड़ा लग गया था, which made them get into that. And then we have the other, models. For example, there is a model which we say for sustainability, which is about, getting some investments and getting some funders and things like that. But we also have a model which is purely based on volunteerism. So there are ventures which have been there for, I think, almost a decade. Am I right? Toy Bank. So, which have been working through volunteerism for almost a decade, which means there is something to learn from people like them. That there is a, they create a movement. So how do they engage people? How do they get the support? How have they survived when there is nothing which they can sell and collect money from? So we invited 4 young people who have created those ventures, which have been there for ranging from, I think, 3 years, 4 years to almost a decade. And then, of course, look at some of the new issues, like new problems require new kind of solutions. So if one is, in India we have a market divide also. We have urban market, we have a rural market. And market is not just about consumers, market is also about producers. So there are people who produce things which are useful in rural areas, there are people who produce things in rural areas which are useful in urban areas, just like there are consumers on both sides. So there are people who have created those models, and the idea was to learn from those models. So that would be the session tomorrow, later forenoon. And then, of course, the issue of sustainability, if a venture has lasted that long. I don't know if you know, there is a term called child mortality rate, which essentially says how many children die before the age of 3 or 5. So the child mortality rate in this sector is extremely high. So very often we do find that there are new ventures which start with a big bang, and then after 3 years you find that they are not there on the ground. So the skills which are required to form a venture, and the skills which are required to sustain it, to scale it up, are two very different things. So that is one session which we thought, because there are people who have done that in the contemporary environment. To learn from them that how they have been able to sustain that venture. And then, of course, we have very large, people use the term market. I'm not very comfortable with that, but okay, there is market in the agriculture, and there is market in the livelihood, and so on and so forth. So we have large number of people, because that is a huge opportunity in India. I mean, if you know, one very simple definition of entrepreneurship is that people see problems and entrepreneurs see opportunities. So wherever there are problems, wherever there are gaps, there are people who try to bridge those gaps, and that is where the entrepreneurship comes. So if you look at the agricultural sector, if you look at the livelihood sector, that is where we have huge problems, but that we also have huge opportunities. So we have a number of our young friends who have been working on that, and they would be a part of that. And the last session would be about the ecosystem creators, because if you look at any sector, apart from the mainstream players who work in that, the sector actually grows when there is an ecosystem which forms around that. So if you look at, for example, our cell phone, mobile sector, which suddenly, grew exponentially. It was not just about the Airtel and Reliance and BSNL and others. It was also because there were consultancy organizations which were formed to help those sectors. There were funds which went only to fund the projects in that sector. So there were experts who came up who would advise them. So so that is the ecosystem, and to understand that ecosystem is important for anybody moving into this. So we'll conclude by that. So this is overall design as we have. There are a few other things which we also have in this conference. One is that our experience has been that many of the people who are on that side of the dais also bring a very rich experience from the field. Because they have, even if they are students, even if they don't have a so-called venture, but they have worked in the field, they know a lot of things about the field, and they have solutions. And our challenge was, how do we tap that? Because it's not just learning flowing from one side to another, it's also mutual learning. So, and also to start conversations. I mean, I think most of you who are in the college or have been in the colleges, like me, would remember that much larger learning happens outside the classroom than inside the classrooms. Sorry, Father, don't quote me, to Dean. But that's true. I mean, we learn many other things which are not taught in the classroom by interacting. So the conversations are important. So what we have, at least to spark off that conversation, we this evening, after 5:30, what we call the breakout groups. These are interest-based groups. So what you will find at the back of this room are some themes which are basically the themes of this conference. Somewhere during the break, just have a look at the themes. Whichever interests you, just write your name. So that way we'll have the groups. In the evening, these groups will break into different rooms in this building, 7-8 rooms, where you can sit and discuss about what issues, what problems you have seen, what solutions you have, what work which you are doing. So it's basically experience sharing. And that's where also the difference between the audience and the speakers and resource persons would, or even the age difference would sort of break down. It will get erased. So do subscribe to whichever theme you want to. So we have 6 to 7:30, and obviously our experience has been in the past that the conversations continue throughout the next 3 days. So that is to spark that off. One other thing which I would like to mention is that you will find that there are different colors of badges. So the blue badges, except I think 3 people got these blue badges who were not supposed to have them. These blue badges belong to the organizing team. So if you have any issues, which organizing teams means me, Sigma, and my other FACES member, Father Apuri Center member. So if you have any problems, anything which you, help which you require, we'll be able to do that. I don't know how many of you are active on social media, etc., but you'll find the Twitter tag for the conference here. So if you are posting tweets, so that's the hashtag or handle, whatever it's called, I don't know. XRI NCSE. NCSE stands for National Conference for Social Entrepreneurship. So that's the short form. And this conference would also be live webcasted. So maybe from the Xlink team you can take the link, and if you want to share it with your friends, you can do that. Few other things. The lunch for everyone is arranged in the MTP residence where some of you are staying, but I'm mentioning it for the non-residential participants. So don't go away during the lunch time. Please join us over at lunch over there. The tea coffee breaks will be held on this side where some of you had morning in coffee tea in the morning. These are some logistic assignments. And I think that's all. So thank you very much, and welcome to this conference. I hope and I am sure this will be a good experience. It has been a good experience for all of us for the last 6 years. So I hope that it will be a good experience for all of you. Thank you very much. And may I request Saurav to continue.
Good morning, all. I'd like to thank Fire Director for the event, Director Excel Award के झा जी के संपर्क में आए जो सीट संस्था चलाते हैं, तो हम लोग इनके ग्रुप में ज्वाइन किया, तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने हम लोग को जानकारी दी है कि क्या क्या आप लोग कर सकते हो और क्या क्या आप लोगों से बात करना है। जो कि हम लोग को बच्चा लोग है, भाई लोग, बहन लोग है, तो वैसे इस तरह से घूम रहे हैं, हम लोगों को मतलब देखने में अच्छा नहीं लगता है। तो बोल रहा है कि आप लोगों को क्या दिक्कतें हैं, और भी तो गांव में बहुत सारा लोग हैं, वो लोग कुछ नहीं कहते हैं, आप लोगों को क्या दिक्कतें? नहीं, दिक्कतें हैं हम लोग को। आप पहले मीटिंग का अरेंज करिए, फिर वो लोग से सर लोगों को ज़बरदस्ती हम लोग मीटिंग अरेंज कराएं, फिर गाँव वाला का प्रधान लोग को भी बुलाएं। तो शुरुआत वही था हम लोग का। शिक्षक जी जो महोदय शिक्षक जी थे, तो उनसे हम लोग बहुत अच्छी तरह से बात किए और उन को पूछे कि आपका मतलब असुविधा कहाँ है, मतलब कहाँ आपको दिक्कतें हो रही हैं कि बच्चा लोग ऐसे घूम रहे हैं, वो लोग हम लोग को बताइए। तो बैठक किए, अच्छा से बात किए, फिर तालमेल बनाए। तो वही से हम लोग का एक, जैसे कि शिक्षक लोग हम लोग का मतलब बात माने, उन लोगों को देखे कहाँ क्या दिक्कतें हैं। जैसे कि वहाँ चापाकल तो स्कूल में है, कह रहा है कि कोई फंड नहीं मिलने के कारण वहाँ गंदा पानी बह रहा है बेकार में। तो हम लोग बोला अरे चलो, पहले आपको बोलना चाहिए था, हम लोग अपने मेहनत से हम लोग अपने गड्ढा बना दिए। इसी तरह के छोटे छोटे चीज़ जो हम लोग साथ दे सकते थे, वैसे सब चीज़ स्कूल के लिए किए। तो उसके बाद फिर हम लोग देखे कि आंगनबाड़ी गए, आंगनबाड़ी जी सेविका जी से बात किए, तो वहाँ धात्री माता लोग आते हैं, कुछ मिलता है लोगों को राशन। तो वो लोगों से पूछा आप लोगों को कितना करके मिलता है, वो लोग कहते हैं मतलब कहती है कि हम लोग को मालूम ही नहीं है, जो मिलता है वो सही लेते हैं। तो हम लोग जहाँ जी से बात किया, फिर उन्होंने सही जानकारी हमें ला के दिया कि ये वाला सामान इतना करके मिलना चाहिए। तो हम लोग को तो देखे गांव में मालूम ही नहीं था कि किसको कितना मिलता है। सबसे पहले बात यह था कि यहाँ तक कि हम लोग को भी मालूम नहीं था। तो जहाँ जी हम लोग को जानकारी ला के दिया कितना करके मिलता है, तो बात की हम लोग, वो लोग का देखे कि सामान कम मिलता था। तो हम लोग क्या किया, सब गांव में घर घर जा कर के तो नहीं बोल सकते थे उस समय। तो हम लोग एक काम किया, पूरा दीवार में लिखे कितना करके क्या मिलना चाहिए, गांव गांव चौक चौक चौराहा चौराहा पर लिख दिए। तो लिखते वक्त कोई सेविका एक दिन मिले, तो पूछा क्या लिख रहे हो आप लोग, क्यों लिख रहे हैं? वो बस ये मिलना चाहिए इतना करके, आदमी को जानकारी नहीं है तो इसीलिए लिख रहे हैं। मतलब क्या जाता है तुम लोग का? जाता है। देखिए मेरा भाभी वो धात्री माता है, उसको सही पोषण खाने में नहीं मिलने से बच्चा कुपोषित हो सकता है। तो उन लोगों का हक है कि सही राशन मिलना चाहिए जितना उन लोगों को खाना है। तो कुछ वो लोग आपत्ति भी किए, और बाकी गांव वाला जैसे कि बुजुर्ग लोग हैं, बाबू क्या लिख रहे हो, वो लोग नहीं ऐसी ऐसी बात है, हाँ बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, वो लोग हौसला देता है। तो इसी तरह से हम लोग उसके साथ भी वो देने को फिर भी तैयार नहीं थे। तो धीरे धीरे करके जब गांव वाला को जानकारी हुआ कि नहीं इतना करके मिलना चाहिए, तो कुछ धात्री माता लोग सेविका से बहस करना शुरू कर दिया, मतलब कि इतना देना चाहिए। तो काफ़ी नाराज हुए हम लोग से सेविका। फिर यहाँ तक ये कि नौबत आ गया था कि मान लिया हम लोग युवा समूह में लगभग 30 लड़के हैं, हमारे यहाँ 12 लड़कियाँ हैं जो हमारे भाई बहन दीदी सब हैं, जो हम लोग समूह बना के चलाते हैं। फिर यहाँ तक कि उसका पति हम लोग का घर आया, मतलब जितना मेंबर लड़का थे तो वो घर में आके, हम लोग तो सब समय नहीं रहते, कोई कॉलेज जाता है, स्कूल जाता है, तो हर किसी के गांव में वो धमकी देके गया था कि बच्चा लोग ऐसा ऐसा कर रहा है, बदमाशी कर रहा है, शरारत कर रहा है। तो तब तक गांव वाला को मालूम हो चुका था, घर वाला लोग कि बच्चा लोग अच्छा काम कर रहा है, वो लोग सपोर्ट में था। तो इसी तरह और भैया हमें मतलब सपोर्ट मिलने लगा और अच्छा काम करते गए। और उसके लिए हम झा जी को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि अगर हम लोग युवा समूह नहीं बनाते तो शायद हमें आप लोगों को बीच यहाँ कुछ नहीं बोल पाता और मौका भी नहीं मिलता। तो इसी तरह आंगनबाड़ी भी हम लोग का अभी ठीक चल रहा है, क्योंकि अभी कल परसों मिले थे, हम लोग विजिट करने जाते हैं सेविका स्कूल, तो वो अभी कह रही है कि हमें मतलब आप लोगों का सहयोग चाहिए, हम लोग का युवा समूह का, जैसे मीटिंग अरेंज कराना है, कुछ अभी दिक्कतें हैं। तो इसी तरह से हम लोग को बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि हम लोग के पास कोई आता है और अपने लिए करते हैं, जो पढ़ाई करते हैं, और साथ में जो स्कूल में जैसे टीचर कम है, ये तो हर गांव का परिस्थिति है। तो हम लोग ये कोशिश करते हैं कि बच्चा लोगों को सही पूरी शिक्षा मिल सके, इसके लिए हम लोग अलग से फिर क्लास लेते हैं बच्चा लोगों को, हम लोग साथ में पढ़ते हैं, बच्चा लोगों का क्लास लेते हैं। तो हम लोग का दिन का काम बन गया है वाला, मतलब डेली करते हैं। और इसी तरह से सभी गांव वालों को हम लोग पर विश्वास होने लगा। अभी हम लोग जो ग्राम सभा होता है तो हम लोग को सबसे पहले प्रेफरेंस दिया जाता है कि गांव में क्या होना चाहिए। तो आज हम लोग बुजुर्ग लोग उतना नहीं बोलते हैं, नहीं सोच पाते हैं, तो आज के ज़माने के हिसाब से क्या चाहिए, तो हम लोग को सबसे पहले प्रेफरेंस दिया जाता है कि बोलो तुम लोगों को क्या चाहिए। तो युवा लोग को हम लोग बोलते हैं, अगर उसके बाद फिर मीटिंग होता है। तो हम लोग अपना, और यहाँ तक कि जैसे सीट्स में आगे हमें बहुत कुछ मिला, जैसे कंप्यूटर, गांव वाला को मतलब कंप्यूटर देखने से ही डर लगता है कि क्या छुएंगे छेड़ जाएंगे तो खराब हो जाएगा। तो सबसे पहले जितना मुसावनी क्षेत्र में जितना गांव था, तो उसमें से हम ही लोगों का गांव में सबसे पहले कंप्यूटर लगा था। और हम लोग खुद भी कंप्यूटर आज कर पाते हैं, नेट चलाते हैं। और इतना छोटा बच्चा लोग भी अगर पूछेंगे तो क्या पार्ट्स अगर आज हर कोई बता सकता है। तो इसी तरह से हम लोग मतलब खुद का भी अपना बच्चा लोगों को भी स्मार्ट बनाने का कोशिश करते हैं और गांव भी स्मार्ट बनाना चाहते हैं। जैसे कि यहाँ का भाई और बहनों लोग वो पहले गए थे वहाँ, वो लोग भी घूम के आए, पहले मिले थे, हम लोग उन लोगों का बहुत अच्छी तरह से स्वागत किए थे। तो वो लोग भी हमें कुछ हौसला दे के आते हैं। और यहाँ तक जैसे कि हम लोग गाँव में, हाँ गाँव तो हर कोई समान परिवार का नहीं है, किसी का घर में एक दिन हो सकता है खाना ही ना पके, ऐसा परिवार भी है। तो हम लोगों ने एक फंड शुरुआत किया, अन्न कोष एवं मुद्रा कोष, जो उसमें हम लोग महीना में, आप लोग क्या कहते हैं वो पैला देखे होंगे, तो उसमें से हम लोग हर घर से एक एक पैला करके चावल ला के जमा करते हैं। इतना जमा करते करते अब इतना चावल हो गया, बहुत हो गया, तो क्या करेंगे वो लोग बेच के फिर हम लोग पैसा बनाते हैं। और अन्न कोष हुआ जैसे कि, और गरीब तो उतना भी नहीं है, और जैसे बरसात होता है तो कोई किसी अपना घर में धान नहीं सूखा पाता है, चावल नहीं बना पाता है, तो उसी समय वो लोग घर लेके अपना खाना बनाता है। और फंड से जब जैसे कि वो पैसा फंड अभी बना है, लगभग आज गांव का हर आदमी लगभग आप मान के 70-80 लोग वहाँ से हम लोग का फ़ायदा ले चुके हैं। और ज़्यादा साल अभी नहीं हुआ, हम लोग का 2010 यानी 11 में लगभग अन्न कोष का गठन किया था हम लोग, भी अच्छा से चल रहा है। और सिंचाई वहाँ जैसे कि व्यवस्था नहीं था पहले, वहाँ गाढ़ा होता है जैसे क्या नहर टाइप का, तो वहाँ छोटा छोटा डैम बना करके अभी लोग जैसे कि जहाजी द्वारा ये अनाज का वितरण किया गया था। तो पहले खेती तो था लेकिन इंटरेस्टेड कोई नहीं था, तो इसी तरह अभी थोड़ा बहुत सिंचाई भी किया जा रहा है गांव में। तो गांव में सिंचाई करने से हम लोग का गांव में एक संतुलित बजट बनता है। तो गांव में अगर सब्जी उगता है तो कम दाम में मिलता है। जैसे कि गांव में अभी और एक चीज़ है गांव में, जैसे आज जनवरी महीना का लास्ट है तो वहाँ बजट तय होता है कि इस साल कितना मतलब खेत में काम करने वाला महिला को कितना देना चाहिए, पुरुष को कितना देना चाहिए, वो आज है हम लोग का गांव में जो किया जा रहा है अभी। इसी तरह जितना भी काम है छोटा से बड़ा ले करके क्योंकि वहाँ आज को तय किया जाता है। तो आज तो कुछ लड़का लोग वहाँ गए हुए हैं जो कि अपना हम लोग का काम करेंगे, वहाँ बोलेंगे क्या कितना होना चाहिए। तो इसी तरह से बहुत सारे काम किए हैं हम लोग, और भी कुछ बाकी है जो हम लोग सुधार नहीं पाए हैं, जो लगे हुए हैं। आशा करते हैं हम लोग, आप लोग अगर सहयोग देते हैं तो ज़रूर पूरा करेंगे, हम लोग का गाँव को स्मार्ट गाँव बना पाएंगे। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एक ये हम लोग का नया फ्लेवर है कि गांव में भी रह करके लोग क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, अगर थोड़ा सपोर्ट मिल जाए और एक समूह बन जाए। और जो आप बता रहे थे तो हम लोगों को कुछ मालूम भी है क्योंकि आते आते रहते हैं, तो हम देखा भी है कि बहुत काम किया है। वी आर 2 स्टूडेंट्स हियर, सो लेट मी आस्क यास्मीन।
Very good afternoon. I'm Yashmin from XISS Ranchi. I won't take it very long, as I've been asked just to speak as an individual, as a youth, what I think the youth can do as a change makers. I believe youth of India are very potential, have a lot of potential, very smart. I mean, the age has changed, the era has changed, and we have really developed like anything, socially, economically, culturally. But then still, today the mindset of people, the youths, have changed. It's because maybe the way we are brought up or the way we are educated. The society is with us. It's with it's born with the family, and I believe in some or the other way our mindset have been lagging behind. Today the youth of India, it's no doubt we are all conscious. We all are very 100% conscious about what is happening in India today. What is the problems of the deprived classes? What is the problems of the society in which we are living, with the women, with the education, with the livelihood problems? But still we are being so self-centric and selfish about living our own life and, going towards our own economic development. This, I believe, needs to be changed. Today we have a lot of zeal and enthusiasm within us, but there needs to be a direction to be shown to the youths. Indian youths can do a tremendous job, towards the development of the country, towards development of our society. But we are pathless, and I believe there needs to be a motivation given to the youths. I, as an individual, I'm doing rural management in XISS, and I never thought I would come to this field. Right from my childhood, I come from a very small town, and whenever I used to see some kind of ill treatment with the deprived classes in my place, I used to get that passion of, I wish I could do something. And the only thing that used to come into my mind was like, for that I have to be a politician maybe. And by that I used to just, erase that thought of doing something. And I don't know, it was maybe I was destined to come to the rural management field. Today I'm learning something about how we can make a change, but I think there are large masses of people out there in the society who needs to be approached and make this, the zeal among them. I've seen, even in our parishes and in our communities, we do small camps. We take people, children and youth to the villages, and we try to interact them with people. This is really a nice approach, because it keeps them close to what is the reality of the people today. This is the primary step of actually bringing that thought in themselves, I wish I could do something. And this sapling, which has just grown, needs to be, bloomed. And I think the young people needs to be guided by the mind makers and mind thinkers of the country. And I really wish that we as a youth could bring about good innovative ideas towards the development of the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashmin. May I request Jagdish to share his thoughts?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is first time I'm speaking at a public, so pardon me if I do a mistake. First of all, thank you, Professor Shukla. For last year, we got the opportunity to attend the conference, and we met a few more adults and great personalities. Even I met Mr. Osama Manjar here, and I did my summer internship there. And thanks, sir, for all the arrangement. Thanks, Saurav also and his team. So to talk about everyone we know that. And second option, what I am alone working is from serverdial.com. I am sponsoring entrepreneurs who want to start up their business, get into online. I am providing them free server, free web service, free web designing, everything to get their business online for first 2 years. Also, I am giving free servers to NGOs and panchayats who want to set up a website or get their business to online. So this is, I hope one day I will come back here as a speaker and will be sharing my future journey. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity.
Thanks, Jagdish. And I'm sure you will come here as a speaker. Actually, this year, among one of our speakers, we had a person who came for the first two conferences. And this year he has, so there is, we look forward to that day. Thank you so much. So somebody, the journey which you were talking about, doing a program from a well-established school and then charting a path to what is generally called the less preferred path. So we have one person, Shruti Parija. As I mentioned, she did a master's from TISS, then shifted to, although I remember we had a talk at that time, she had, I think BPCL or some, huh? No, about the job. She had two offers. One was from a corporate and one was from a Orissa Livelihood Mission. And she decided to choose Orissa Livelihood Mission and then recently shifted to Gram Vikas, which some of you would know is one of the largest NGOs in Orissa, Jomadiats. So, I'd like you to talk about.
A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank Professor Shukla for giving me an opportunity to speak amidst this very revered audience. And so basically, with a large majority of India's demographic dividend comprising of youth in today's age and time, I think this topic could not be more central and vital to the development of our society. I think Professor Shukla has given an introduction, but to tell you a little more about myself, I am an engineer by education, and after a few very satisfying volunteering stints with Bakul Foundation during my engineering days, I took this conscious decision of shifting to the social sector. I gained a postgraduate degree in social work, and thereafter I started working with the government of Odisha in National Rural Livelihoods Mission as a young professional. It was slightly challenging to work with the government with all the idealism right after my masters, and a year hence I shifted to a non-profit organization called Gram Vikas. So I would like to share with you a couple of experiences, very moving experiences which I've had during my journey. The first being a sting operation which I was a part of in TISS. This was on sex selection. So we were working on the implementation of the PCPNDT Act, which basically goes against sex selection and sex determination. So we went to a rural in Satara district in Maharashtra, which has one of the highest rates of sex selection, and there was this friend of mine who was acting as the subject, as the pregnant lady, and they got her through the ultrasound process, and then said, so you have a girl, so you have to go for abortion. And she said, but I really don't want to go for an abortion. And they said that once you enter the doors of this clinic, you cannot get out without an abortion, because then word is going to go out. And we were taken into this room. Of course, all of this was being recorded on camera, and we saw that there were 3 women lying on 3 parallel beds, and 3 of them were being inflicted, they were going through the process of abortion, and the dead fetus was being fed to German Shepherd dogs right outside the window. This is an image which has stuck in my head for the last 3 years now, and there have been so many such experiences which propel me to work in this field, and which give me the courage to probably go further and do something for this section of society which has which does not have the awareness, the sensitization, and sometimes for the pure motive of selfishness. So in TISS, there were various such experiences where I did my field work with an organization called Men Against Violence and Abuse, where we were working with men on their role on reducing violence and abuse against women, because after all, they are the perpetrators, and a shift in mindset is essential. Apart from that, I worked in Jashpur for a month, and for a month in Tilonia as well with Barefoot College. All these experiences have actually ingrained in me the will to push further, and I have come across many more of my contemporaries who are youth and who've been taking steps towards the development of our nation. Of course, there have been many challenges, and I would like to, share my experience with respect to one of them. So, especially with the government, I was recruited as a young professional, and there is a huge trust deficit when it comes to the youth and the government. So, somebody as a policy maker frames this very progressive policy where we should get youth into the government to bring about innovation, but then the people within the government, the people who have been there for the last 10, 15, 20 years, the people in the state civil services, they do not trust us as much as they should, because they think that, our ability towards risk taking is very, very high. Maybe we won't be able to deliver. Maybe this is overt levels of enthusiasm and passion which will actually not result in any change on the ground. And after a lot of pushing and fighting and, things of that sort, I managed to spearhead a pilot on, against anti-human trafficking in Sundargarh district in Odisha, where we looked at rehabilitating the trafficked people, the trafficked women, and also sort of resettling the children who belonged to these mothers. So, my suggestion would be that, the opportunities are endless and infinite, but you really have to give a chance to the youth to prove themselves. And a lot of people have ventured as social entrepreneurs, but a lot of people would also like to be entrepreneurial within their own organization. So that space should be given to the youth. Of course we might fail, but we might also prove ourselves in a way which has not been done before. And for that we need scope, we need freedom, and we need opportunities to prove ourselves. So, for myself, my journey has been very, very inspiring. It has been a fantastic journey where I've come across a lot of inspiring people. Like I would say, if we are not bounded by the limitations of our own mind, by the limitations that people want to place on us, by societal expectations, by expectations that your organization or your extraneous environment places on you, then the possibilities are absolutely endless for us to act as change makers. The sky is the absolute limit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shruti, and thank you, all of you. I think this was a, wonderful landscape of different kind of experiences of youth in different settings, and different ways in which the youth is tackling the problems. So there is not just one way, as Shruti said, it can be even within the organization. One doesn't have to create an organization. So as long as we take action when action is required, whether one is working for an organization or not, but if, as she was mentioning about that, that was a pretty gruesome image, by the way, about the fetuses being fed, and but as long as somebody, when that happens, whether it's a big problem, small problem, then if we have youth like that who take action, I think that's good enough. I mean, one doesn't have to become a social entrepreneur or create an organization. So thank you very much for this wonderful inauguration of the conference. I think it has also set the tone for whatever we go listen to and experience in the coming days. As a very small token of our appreciation for our work, may I request a memento to Mr. Ajay Murmu. Yashmi Sharma, Jagdish Behra, and to Shruti Parija. Thank you very much for being here, for sharing your thoughts and work with us and your experiences. So with this we also come to the end of the inauguration session. We will break for lunch, And the lunch, as I mentioned, is in MDP residence for everyone. So please join us there. And we'll be back for the inaugural panel session, which is with Anshu Gupta, Ashraf Patel, and Rahul Ganwal on the youth untapped potential at 2 o'clock in this room. Thank you very much.
And to Mr. Ronald D'Costa. This session is, as I said, about youth as change agents, the untapped potential. Across history, participation by socially engaged youth has been a critical element in all major social change. They represent the potential and energy for social transformation since they have greater stakes in the future. The challenge, however, is how to get the youth engaged with larger social issues to unleash this potential. The inaugural panel, consisting of 3 practitioners who have extensively worked with young people in different ways, will discuss the nature of this potential and how it can be leveraged. Our moderator, Mr. Ronald D'Costa, is an alumnus of XLRI, owner of Hotel Boulevard, and a Rotarian. He has served as the Centennial Governor of Rotary International and is actively involved in the field of education and environment, particularly watershed management. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ronald D'Costa to take over the session.
Thanks. I'd rather use this mic to begin with because it's post-lunch. I'm also a little drowsy. And I also want to give some time to the audience to come in, and also want to re-emphasize the importance of having the first 3 distinguished speakers come in the inaugural session. All of them have had years of experience in working with youth, and all have done distinguished work, and I also see all are Ashoka awardees, which is really a privilege for the audience to have all of them on board. As they normally say, ladies first. Here today too, we have Ashraf Patel from XLRI, who decided that she would take a different path. She did work for some time with escorts in HR. She finished from HR from XLRI, but then went on to be a co-founder of Prava, an organization that worked with youth. But today she runs a very innovative organization called Community. No, let me get it again. Mutiny. Community, which builds in exactly the ethos of any youth and the fire in the belly that she puts in to 100 young leaders every year and mentors them and gives them financial support. They also, basic objective is to create an ecosystem of hundreds of youth-led, youth-engaging organizations advocating for the youth development across all sectors. She ensures that it becomes sustainable and then continues with the next hundreds. So let's hear the hundreds that Ashraf has worked with. I present to you Ashraf Patel.
Thanks a lot, Ronnie. Thank you so much. Very special for me to come to XLRI. So all our faculty here, old timers who I have known, Professor Sareen, great to see you here. Mr. Madhukar Shukla has been an old friend. So just very, very grateful to be here. And I want to share why. XLRI is a place, I think it was one of the first few, it was the management institution in those times, in my times. I passed out in 1990. where we had a course on business ethics, transaction analysis, which is understanding communication, understanding conflict, assertiveness training, relationship building, how to relate with people, difference, how to relate with difference. We actually had courses on that. Community development, and of course the usual courses on industrial relations and personal and organizational psychology. To my mind, those courses, those experiences that we've had here at Excel have really gone deep into our work at both Prava and Commutiny, the Youth Collective. A lot of my work rests on the foundation of what this institution was doing then, and I believe continues to do so. So just a big hand for institutions like XLRI. Today we need institutions like this which nurture young people who understand not only themselves better, but also society better. So just, I want to just celebrate XLRI. And thank you so much, Madhukarji, for calling me here again. It's just lovely to keep coming back. Okay, so I have a 7-minute film, so bear with me. I'm going to say a few words and then we'll see the film, which actually tells us a lot about what we do. One question, how many of you, many youngsters here and the old timers as well, I think we've all been through the same experiences. Age is not, youth is not just about age, it's also a period, a phase in life. So I'm considering everybody here is youth. And how many of you have had trouble explaining, many social entrepreneurs sitting here, social activists, whatever you want to call yourself, how many of you have had trouble, just raise your hands, trouble explaining either to your parents, to your teachers, to your friends, any of this gang, you've had trouble explaining कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ या मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ, why I'm doing and what I'm doing. Many? Yeah, significant number, 80%. So first, cheers to you for, regardless whether you can explain to the world or not, you're still doing what you want to do and why you want to do. Just cheers. So this is what we do, what Prava and Commutiny, the Youth Collective, both these organizations, and actually not us alone. There are hundreds of really good organizations out there which are doing this work, which is investing in young people and supporting them to find out who they truly are by engaging in their personal passion, particularly a passion which is connected to communities, other communities. So Commutiny was an organization started in 2008 by us. It's a collective of youth-led organizations. I'm very proud to share that Dhirendra is here. He's your next speaker. He's also on the board. So there are organizations like Milan and many other 50 such organizations which are part of this collective. And the objective of the collective, Commutiny, represents the name. The objective is hidden in the name. Can anybody guess what does Commutiny sort of... Huh? For community, yes. Anything else? Huh? Related to communing. Communing, commuting, community, but we call it Commutiny. And what mutiny are we talking about? Huh? Social? Revolution? Okay. How many of you want to change the world? बस मतलब किसी को यार समाज नहीं बदलना. अच्छा ठीक है. How many of you want to change yourself? Yeah, okay. Cheers. So Commutiny within says that the real personal transformation, if we want to change ourselves, the real personal transformation will come if we work in communities. So अगर सचमुच अपने आप को डिस्कवर करना है तो समाज में और सामाजिक क्षेत्र में हम घुसें और अपना दिल और दिमाग लगाएं, तब सचमुच खुद का बदलाव होगा, खुद की समझ पड़ेगी, खुद का progress hoga. So this is what Commutiny stands for. It stands for working with young people to discover themselves by actually working in social action. And social action is a very significant part of personal transformation. I want to stop here. I'll show you a film. So what do? We work with 100 young leaders. We've been working with smaller numbers. It's only this year actually we're working with 100 young leaders. And Ronnie said that we make them sustainable. I think we make them sustainable in spirit. It's not that we fund them or support them for a long time, so I must say that. We definitely, what we do is, we create a community of people who share a certain value, and they are really strong individuals who stand for what they believe in, commit, and you'll see them here. And many of them, they are just like a lot of you here. So this is your spirit that's in the film. I want to congratulate all the young speakers who spoke before us and all the people here. That spirit is reflected, I think, in the film. Let's just watch the film and then I'll close. Thanks.
I am Kuldeep Ram Tewadia. I am a change loomer.
I am Jenpu Rongmai. I am a change loomer.
I am Bapaditto Mukherjee. I am a change loomer.
I am Lokesh. I am a change loomer.
I am Zishan Muhammad and I am a change loomer.
I am Sharik. I am a change loomer.
I am Sulekha Ali. I am a change loomer.
फिफ्थ स्पेस आपको एक मौका देता है, एक प्रोसेस देता है अपनी चीज़ों को बेहतर तरीके से समझने का और शायद खुद के अंदर एक बेहतरीन चेंज लाने का।
फिफ्थ स्पेस मेरे लिए एक आज़ादी है जहाँ मैं बिना डरे अपनी बात कह सकूं।
इधर का एक इम्पोर्टेंट पॉलिसी है या रूल है कि फन फर्स्ट। तो मैंने सोचा कि ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ये सब बंदे, लेकिन बाद में मेरे को पता चला कि फन ही होता है। अगर फन होता है तो भी लाभ होता है।
यूथ का अपना कोई ऐसा स्पेस नहीं है, चाहे वो फैमिली है, कॉलेज है, अपने करियर है, सारे वो एक तरह से दूसरे लोगों के द्वारा बनाए गए, दूसरे लोगों के द्वारा एक तरह संचालित स्पेसेस हैं। तो फिफ्थ स्पेस एक ऐसा अड्डा जहां यूथ अपने हिसाब से अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर करे, उनको क्या अच्छा लग रहा है उससे कनेक्ट हो और वो सेल्फ से शुरू करके सोसाइटी तक जाने के लिए मूव करे। तो बेसिकली इट्स ए जर्नी फ्रॉम सेल्फ टू सोसाइटी।
एक मुस्लिम फैमिली से होने के बाद आप एक हिंदू कम्युनिटी में उस वक्त काम कर रहे हैं जब के हालात इस तरह से खराब है, तो उनका एक भरोसा जीतना कि आप अपने बच्चों को मेरे यहाँ पर भेजे या मेरी क्लास में भेजे, वो भी शायद बहुत मुश्किल था।
I didn't have any grey hair when we started this off. So when we approached people for work, they would just not believe us. They would give us funny looks and question us if we had the capability to do so. जब हम लोग कम्युनिटी के साथ काम कर रहे थे तो कुछ सामाजिक असामाजिक तत्वों को ऐसा लगा कि ये हमारी सीधी आत्मीयता पे ठेस है, तो उन लोगों ने मुझे और मेरे एक साथी को चाटा मारा था। मुझे लगा कि हम लोगों ने अच्छा काम किया तो लोगों ने उससे रिएक्ट किया, तो इसका मतलब है कि ये बात लोगों तक पहुंच रही है।
When I started, I was all alone. Now I have 500 young people in 19 districts of West Bengal who are creating change in their own ways.
लखनऊ में शेयर ऑटो चलता है तो वो फ्रंट सीट पर लड़का नहीं बैठती। अब बहुत सी जो हमारे साथ में जुड़ी लड़कियां हैं वो फ्रंट सीट पर बैठना भी नहीं सकती।
कि लड़कियों को भी अगर सुरक्षा है मगर उन पे भी भरोसा किया जाए, उनको भी ऐसे एक सुरक्षित एनवायरनमेंट मिल सकता है।
People are getting aware of these children and then they are calling us, they are organizing programs to raise fund for our children. And also they are offering a job, a small job to our members who are from dropout students.
It's a space that shapes leaders and draws out the full potential
inside a human being. मैं जब बोला कि मैं बाइसेक्सुअल हूँ, गे हूँ, and first शारिक spoke and he said, पापा हम लोग प्रिविलेज है कि आप हम लोगों को इसके लायक समझे कि आप शेयर कर सकें, और that made my life.
यहाँ पूरी तरह से गलतियां करने की आजादी है, गलतियों से सीखने का पूरा प्रोसेस है.
Before I came to this fifth space, I have a problem with my father. I don't talk with my father. I'm doing good for the society. Why I'm not doing good to my family? So this fifth space makes me a relation with my father.
Challenges have really been surpassed by the young themselves when they have taken the relationship with their own parents head on, without losing their love for them or recognizing their love for themselves, but still being able to stand up and say what they believe in and negotiate that space through dialogue and discussion.
लोग अपनी बात कहते हैं, चर्चाएं होती है, क्रॉस चर्चाएं भी होती है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उनके बीच में मतभेद हो गए.
I saw people from remote villages, towns, and very naturally the question came was, what value will they add? But I mean, I was slapped on my face multiple times when I saw the points of view those people brought.
जब आप एक पूरे ग्रुप के साथ काम कर रहे होते हैं तो आप एक दूसरे से काफी सारी चीजें सीखते हैं. एक माइनर चीज भी आपके लिए बहुत बढ़िया काम आती है. शायद ये पहला मौका था जो इंडिया के हर कोने से लोग आए हैं और इस जर्नी में शामिल हुए और मेरे दोस्त बने.
I had come here with intentions to refine my work, to meet a lot of people, or as the world calls it, networking. But after the first DC, I just threw that aside. For me, it was all about myself, how I can become a better person. And I think Fifth Space has allowed me to be that way. And Fifth Space respects that about me.
If you find that if people have an opportunity to explore and discover themselves, then the connection with society happens by itself. So this journey from self to society is a more natural one.
Short film to show what kind of journey the Change Looms, this program is called Change Looms, what kind of journey we create in the Change Looms process. It's young leaders coming together from across the country, rural, urban, belonging to different communities, Dalits, tribals, Hindus, Muslims, just across communities, we consciously choose a diverse community. और idea ये है कि आप जब young leaders अलग अलग जगह से आते हैं, अलग अलग क्षेत्रों से आते हैं और अपनी जर्नी साथ में एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, उनका समाज से जुड़ाव और गहरा होता है. सो द पर्पस ऑफ चेन लूम इज टू मेक दिस डीप कनेक्ट. एंड फिफ्थ स्पेस जो आपने देखा, फिफ्थ स्पेस क्या है, व्हाट इज दिस फिफ्थ स्पेस, इट वाज एक्सप्लेन्ड इन द फिल्म. But what we are doing now is basically promoting the idea of the fifth space. The fifth space is a space which young people themselves take leadership in. It is governed by them. So it is a space which is quite different from a space that a school can provide, a college or a family setup, or even friends. and the question I asked you is something to do with that. Mostly, these other 4 spaces where typically we hang out in as young people, there's a lot of other people engaged in decision making, in deciding the course of action, in deciding how the space should be, how should the family be, how should the school be. Fifth space is a space, like many of you are already on that journey, where young people are deciding for themselves and creating their own addas to truly explore the world. So this work is about that, and I want to share, because many of you are working as social entrepreneurs. The other thing that Commutiny, the Youth Collective, its main job, it's a very important job. We found that for 20 years we've been working with Prava. There are many other young organizations here, many of you already, I mean, there are many youth organizations, there's Milan, there's Make a Difference, there is Jagriti Yatra, so many of you are here doing great work. You find after a few years, why is it that people still, why more and more people are not coming on their own to do these things? Why are more volunteers not there for our work? Why do we not have enough resources? Why do we have to still prove ourselves to others that what we are doing is of real contribution to society? After all, we are building a population of young people who not only do great work in the social stream, but stand for certain values. And Commutiny, the Youth Collective, is decided, and has for the last couple of years decided to promote the idea of the fifth space, so that every individual, our vision is that every human being commits to investing in young people. It cannot be just the jobs of some of our organizations. And how do we do that? We are making many films, many promotional films for this purpose, to promote the idea of the fifth space, a space which then we can create in many different ways in our own organizations. So as I end this speech, I want to encourage you, each one of you young entrepreneurs here, don't forget your own journey. The journey with which you started. I mean, I started Prava when I was 24, and my own journey is very significant to why I do what I do. Somewhere along the way in your hurly-burly of work and action and, you know, scale and business and ये वो, कई बार हम भूल जाएंगे हमने कहाँ से शुरुआत करी. और जो अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको मिली, और जो मेंटर्स आपको मिले, और जो रिसोर्सेज आपने समेटे, make sure that other young people have that opportunity. Make time in your business, in your social entrepreneurship work, to create a journey for at least 20 to 50, if not 100 young people, regardless of whether your organization is targeted at young people or not. That's the main objective, that each one of us must invest in young people to create a world which also respects our constitutional values. So the last piece I want to end with is leadership is not a neutral word for us. We are not just promoting youth leadership. And I think it's important for each one of us to examine what sort of leadership are you promoting and what sort of leaders are we. So are we leaders who will promote and stand for the constitutional values, or are we just leaders? And that's what Fifth Space is about. It's a space that will promote justice, equality, fraternity, secularism, socialism. It will promote values that our Constitution stands for. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashraf. We'll save the questions for the last, when you can then name the speaker you would like to ask the questions to, and then ask, and we'll have it then. We now have Rahul Nainwal. Just before the meet, I was talking with him and found out that his very bare biodata does not really give all the things he has done. He is the co-founder of Mitra, I Volunteer. They specialize really in identifying volunteers and then sending them to organizations internationally where they're required. So he works on a recruitment program. It's called www.jobsforgood.com through iVolunteer. He created iVolunteer Overseas, a first of its kind in history of India, that sends Indians to volunteer in other countries. I understand at this point of time he is responsible for about 35 volunteers working through Africa, except for North Africa. He, of course, is Ashoka Fellow. He has been a VSO volunteer in Sierra Leone. He has also worked with Mukan Steel as a sales engineer prior to moving into the sector. And he's also a TED Fellow. So with these few words, I'd like to hand over the mic to Rahul, the co-founder of Mitra and iVolunteer.
Thank you so much. So I think this session is really difficult because you just had a great lunch, yeah, and you're waiting for the main dessert. So I have to somehow, fill this space. Can I see the slide? Sorry? The slide first. To move, this can move the slide. Kisse move ho? Okay. So I think when I was making these slides, I kind of thought of what made Professor Shukla call me. What can bald, aging men like me talk about engaging the young? Yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to present 7 slides, so the misery is not long for you guys, yeah? And if there is wisdom, then we can all decide at the end of it whether it was really worth it or not. And just like Ashraf said, that each one of us has our own personal journey. So I went back to when I started iVolunteer, and I was a student at IRMA, a campus quite like this, and went through all the processes that I kind of went through. And that made me kind of start this organization. So I think the first one which probably I can say now is that as a young person, yeah, or that time, and also as a person who's now trying to engage young people into the social sector, both of us really have no clue, we had no idea. When I started out, I had very little idea about what I want to do. So it was only through conversations, and I was very lucky that at IRMA I found a mentor and a coach, which was one of our professors, Professor Devi Prasad Mishra. And over lots and lots of cups of coffee and spending a lot of time with him, me and my co-founder Shalabh, we came to some idea. Okay, so when we leave IRMA, what is it we are going to do? And I think pretty much this is what I guess we do now also in a job, is when young people come and they say, they have this idea, and most of the times I have no idea about what their idea is about, but you just engage them in some conversation, and then hopefully, some magic happens. A lot of times nothing happens, but then, you made a friend. I think, so I'm just going to reflect a little bit on my own kind of, I would say, educational journey. I was pressed to do engineering, so I did my 12th, and then there was entrance exam pressure. You have to do engineering college, crack an entrance. I went to a college not very far from here in Rourkela, and there on, life was almost on an escalator. So which could be, a typical story of any middle class young person who was growing up in early 90s. Somehow the life in India doesn't give you a moment to pause and has to reflect what is it you really want to do in life. Yeah. And so it's very, very important that as we are growing, or whether we are on the other side and we are in organizations, to constantly take these pauses ourselves, yeah. Because now in iVolunteer, it's not any different, it's again an escalator, and I'm like constantly running from one thing to another, is to have that pause, yeah. And also create opportunities for young people to take a pause, yeah. And not to say that, I want to just take this pause so that I can start the next social enterprise, or I can be a change maker, or I'm going to do these great things or create a revolution. It's just to take a pause. I think the West kind of, figured it out long time back, and that's why they have a gap year kind of a concept. This is what you do before you, take your next jump. So I found that in my life and the young people that we work with, taking a pause, taking a moment of breather is really, really important. So I think some of you must have kind of experienced this in your lives, which is more around when somebody is really giving us direction, and sometimes people are really telling you what to do, And so at least in I Volunteer and the India Fellow program that we created, we always make a conscious choice between not telling people what to do, but maybe show them a little bit of, direction, And I guess that at least with young people, who probably, don't want to work in a lot of structures, they want to do some great things. They are not really looking for very, very concrete advice. They've come there to explore and all that. That direction is what will actually lead to discovery.
Able to zoom into things that you really need and not necessarily care about the superfluous. So even if they give you less amount of money than the corporate sector, it doesn't matter. I have had my basic needs satisfied and also been able to enjoy as I wish to.
There is a growing insensitivity about social challenges, problems around poverty and disadvantage in India. We want to expose large number of people about these issues and then hope that they will carry the sensitivity of understanding some of these issues in whichever paths the life takes them. Growing up in India is like, you're on an escalator. You have to complete your studies, after that you will get a job, you have to get married. You're constantly chasing somebody else's life. There is really no time to pause and to reflect and ask this question, is this what I really want to do? So we hope this India Fellow program is that place where you can take a pause and then ask some of these questions.
I just happened to know about the fellowship from someone. That is quite a random thing. One of the things that we can do is spread awareness about fellowship, that people who are like I was before, they can be courageous enough to take up such an opportunity to work in a social organization.
So thank you, Rahul. And now we go on to our last and final speaker for today, Professor Madhukar. We began 15 minutes late, so do I have the opportunity to continue for another 15 minutes too? Thank you. Rahul is a familiar face to XLRI as well as to the organization, these social entrepreneurship programs that we do every year. I think from the inception itself, I would have been seeing Anshu with us. And he has always had captured our imagination with his magical manner in which you convert waste into things of use. I don't think I need to say more than the fact that not only is he an Ashoka Fellow, but also Ashoka Global Ambassador. He has created mass movements for recycling and reusing. I would also say the gift of the art of giving was conceptualized by Anshu. Yeah, and I think he has promoted it, in which not only Jamshedpur but the whole of India between the 3rd of October for 5 days give and give and give, and manage to create a different feeling within yourselves, because you feel that when you give and Gunj helps you to use these material, it suddenly becomes wealth instead of waste. With these few words, I would like to introduce to you Anshu, our friend.
Thank you, and Jai Hind. So, I think I have come here with a lot of random thoughts, because this time I'm not going to talk about Goonj and all that. So, only thing which I need to talk about Goonj is that yes, it is the power of youth. To be honest, if I see the entire team, the way it has grown, and the kind of work which it is doing all across the country now in parts of 21 states, the credit ultimately goes to the youth, right from the collection camps to creating awareness about it and talking about such taboo subjects like menstrual hygiene among the masses. And we have seen that how unconditioned, unconditional rather support comes from youth if you give them a small direction, and you also do not make them a victim of PPTs and over-presentation. I mean, that's what we understand. So my random thoughts are on two parts. One is general, which is very important for all of us, that the time has come that we have to take an action. और मुझे कोई और रास्ता भी नहीं दिखता, मुझे कोई और उपाय भी नहीं दिखता. मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग यदि इन सब झंझटों में पड़े रहेंगे कि सोशल एंटरप्राइज क्या होती है, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स में कितने ये होते हैं, बिजनेस प्लान कैसे बनती है, तो मुझे लगता नहीं कि इस देश की समस्या सॉल्व होने वाली है. मतलब मैं बहुत साफ शब्दों में बोलता हूँ, क्योंकि हम लोग अभी कर क्या रहे हैं, हम लोग जैसे और ये ध्यान रखिएगा, मेरी बातचीत से कभी ये मत सोच लीजिएगा कि मैं बहुत पैसिमिस्ट इंसान हूँ. मैं बहुत ऑप्टिमिस्ट इंसान हूँ, बट मैं रियलिटीज पे बात करता हूँ और रियलिटीज आर ऑलवेज डिस्टर्बिंग. तो जब आप कभी ऊपर हवाई जहाज से मुंबई का एयरपोर्ट देखते हैं तो आपको सिर्फ स्लम्स नजर आते हैं. फिर आप एक ताजमहल में एंटर करते हैं, बाहर निकलते हैं तो फिर स्लम्स नजर आते हैं. तो दो स्लम्स के बीच में ताजमहल क्रिएट करना हम लोगों की बहुत बड़ी खूबी है. हम लोग इसके लिए पूरी दुनिया में जाने जाते हैं. आज भी जब आप इतने साल के बाद झाड़ू लेके देश की सफाई करने का काम शुरू करते हो तो लानत है हम पे कुल मिला के. तो बड़े अजीब से दौर से गुजर रहे हैं हम लोग. और ये जो यूथ है, यदि ये इन सब सिर्फ एंटरप्राइज के झंझट में पड़ा रहा तो मुझे लगता नहीं कि कुछ होगा. एंटरप्राइज बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा जरूरी आपका जज्बा है, उससे ज्यादा जरूरी आपका जोश है, उससे ज्यादा जरूरी ये समझना है कि हमको इस देश में कॉकरोच की जिंदगी नहीं जीनी. हमारे पास सारे रिसोर्सेज हैं, हम बहुत मेहनतकश लोग हैं, बहुत दिमाग वाले लोग हैं. तो हम यदि एम्स में सब्सिडी का शिकार होते हैं हम सभी लोग, मतलब अल्टीमेटली मैं एम्स में पढ़ाई करके आपको यदि बाहरी सेवाएं देनी है, अपनी इंजीनियर बन के आपको बात, इसमें जो रिश्वत थी उसमें भी मेरा पैसा लगा, इसके रिपेयर में मेरा पैसा लगा. हर बार उस सड़क से जाता हूं 50 किलोमीटर की स्पीड पे, तुम मुझसे 40 रुपए ले लेते हो. भाई तुम एक रोड बनाओ जिसपे 100-150 किलोमीटर की स्पीड पे मैं जाऊं, मुझसे टोल टैक्स लो, मैं दूंगा. बट एक बेसिक सड़क तो मेरा बेसिक राइट है कि नहीं है? कितने देश आप जानते हैं जिसमें प्राइवेट स्कूल को पब्लिक स्कूल बोलते हैं? हम कितने फक्र से प्राइवेट स्कूल को पब्लिक स्कूल बोलते हैं हिंदुस्तान में? हम आवाज नहीं उठाते. कितने देश आप जानते हैं जहां पे इस तरीका का बॉटल्ड वाटर इतने आसानी से अवेलेबल हो, नलों में पानी नहीं आता पीने का? आप में से कितने लोगों ने पानी के बिल ऐसे पे किए हैं जिसमें ये लिखा गया हो कि ये नहाने और कपड़े धोने का पानी है? कभी किया? टैप वाटर से हम लोग क्या करते हैं? जमशेदपुर एक्सेप्शन है, मैं जानता हूं, बट ऐसे जमशेदपुर कितने बने हैं, कितने टाटा नगर बने हैं? लेकिन हम आवाज नहीं उठाते. हम कभी ये नहीं कहते दैट व्हाई डू आई हैव अ फिल्टर एट माय होम. ये निर्भया कांड को आपने खुद देखा, 2 साल हो गए, इतना हाई स्पीड पे सब कुछ हुआ, उसके बाद भी कोई फैसला अभी तक नहीं हुआ, किसी को कोई फांसी नहीं हुई. एक बंदे ने खुदकुशी कर ली तो वो मर गया, बाकी सब जिंदा है, बट हम में से कोई आवाज नहीं उठाता. एक सवाल एक आखिरी पूछना चाहूंगा आपसे, और शायद लास्ट ईयर भी पूछा हो, मैं हर साल पूछता हूं, कोई भी ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल मैं नहीं छोड़ता जिससे ना पूछूं. आपकी जिंदगी में सबसे सेफ जगह कौन सी है? विच इज द सेफेस्ट प्लेस इन योर लाइफ? Home? How many of us in this country can leave our daughter or sibling who is 10-12 years old alone at our own home? And you call it the safest place in your country. 2-3 साल के बच्चे को आप नहीं छोड़ते, वाजिब है, वो स्विच में उंगली डालेगा, गैस जला लेगी, जो भी कुछ कर लेगी. 10-12 साल का बच्चा आज की डेट में, माई डॉटर रन्स on say iPad or BJ say this thing, BlackBerry and all, much better than me. I can't leave her alone. In the house, जो हमने बहुत मेहनत पसीने से, खून पसीने से यहाँ सबकी पढ़ाइयों के बाद बनाया है, उस घर में मेरी बच्ची अकेली नहीं रह सकती, तो मैं किस देश में रहता हूं? मैं ये जानने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं। बाकी यहाँ हम लोग यूथ के सोशल एंटरप्राइज और इस सब पे डिबेट करते रहेंगे, वो सब बात अलग है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट पहले हम देश की कुछ हकीकतें तो समझें। तो लास्ट कुछ पिक्चर्स का कलेक्शन है, आई जस्ट वांट टू रन दिस। ये सिर्फ इसलिए दिखा रहा हूं क्योंकि मैं ये साबित करना चाहता हूं कि हमारे पास चॉइस नहीं है, हमारा कंपल्शन है कि हम कुछ करें। मैं बांटता रहा प्रसाद मंदिर के भीतर और बाहर कोई गरीब भूख से मर गया। कभी फुर्सत मिले तो बैठना, देश के बारे में कुछ बात करनी है। ये बिहार का कोई 40 किलोमीटर पटना से दूर ला ही रहा था एक और चादर मजार पर कि नजर बाहर कांपते एक फकीर पर पड़ गई। ये पहला इंसान है जो गूंज की जिंदगी में आया था 1991 के उत्तराखंड के अर्थक्वेक में। और आप यदि इस इंसान को देखें तो ये इसने पुरानी, जो उत्तराखंड में आलू बहुत होता है, आलू को पैक करने के लिए जो बोरियां हैं, वो बोरियों का चीथड़ा पहना हुआ है। और इस इंसान के हाथ में एक चिट है जिसमें किसी ने कुछ कंबल या कुछ लिख दिया होगा, जो रिलीफ एजेंसीज करती हैं। तो ये लगातार मुझसे पूछता रहा, मैं उस समय स्टूडेंट था, बंक करके गया था क्लास, ये लगातार मुझसे पूछता रहा कि मुझे एक कंबल चाहिए, मुझे एक गर्म कपड़ा चाहिए, मैं मर जाऊंगा। और मेरी बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया, क्योंकि मैं तो एक ठीक है, मैं मिडिल क्लास से था, बट फिर भी चार दीवारी के अंदर सोता था, रजाई ओढ़ के सोता था। तो मुझे कभी समझ नहीं आया उस समय तक, पूरे दिन तक, कि ये आदमी मर कैसे जाएगा, क्योंकि मुझे समझ नहीं आता था कि ठंड से कोई मरता होगा। रात जब मैंने काटी एक टेंट में, क्योंकि मैं तो तैयारी के साथ गया नहीं था, देन आई रियलाइज व्हाट इज दिस कोल्ड अबाउट। और मुझे ये भी एहसास हुआ कि लोग ठंड से नहीं मरते, लोग कपड़े की कमी से मरते हैं, क्योंकि सेम माहौल में मैं जिंदा रहता हूं, कोई और मर जाता है। और हम लोग हैं जो मजार मंदिरों पर चदरों पर चदरें चढ़ाते हैं। मैं ढके तन में तानता हूं सीना, वो सर्द हवाओं में तन बचाए फिरते हैं। आग में तपते शीशे से कटते देखा है मैंने बचपन को चूड़ियों की भट्टियों पर। 3-4 साल का बच्चा आज की डेट में हजारों की तादाद में आपके फिरोजाबाद में चाइल्ड लेबर बनता है। 3-4 साल का बच्चा। उसी के बगल में कारपेट इंडस्ट्री है, वहां पर यदि किसी को कारपेट वीविंग करते हुए घाव हो जाए, किसी को भी घाव हो जाए, तो नीचे का बुरादा जला के उसकी उंगली में भर देते हैं। यह आपका देश है। मैं आपको सिर्फ सच्चाइयों से रूबरू करना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहता कि जो आप मैनेजमेंट की बुक्स में पढ़ रहे हैं, जो आप रूरल इंडिया को मार्केट कहते हैं, रूरल इंडिया की बेहतर है कि हम लोग थोड़ी सच्चाइयों को भी समझें, और जो बहुत बुरी हैं, और उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं है, ये सच है। ये आपने अशरफ ने पूछा था कि हु वांट्स टू चेंज द वर्ल्ड। मुझे भी लगता है कि दुनिया को बदलने की जरूरत नहीं है, सुधारने की जरूरत है। वो बदल लेंगे, यदि हम दुनिया बदलना चाहते हैं तो बहुत बड़ा टास्क है, हम शायद कोई उसमें पूरा नहीं कर पाए। ये मिड डे मील है बिहार का, एक स्कूल का, तो यदि जरा सा तो भी इंप्रूवमेंट लाएं तो शायद चीजें बदल सकती हैं। अरे मुझे मालूम है अंधेरा है, रोशनी की कोशिश तो करने दो। ये वेस्ट बंगाल का सुंदरबंस का एक सीन है। दिस इज माई लास्ट स्लाइड एंड मैसेज, 2 ways to operate: sit away, crib, throw stones, criticize, or become a part of the process. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you, Anshu. And now the floor is open for questions. The way we would take it is, if you raise your hand, then I'd identify you, and then you need to point out to one of the speakers and ask a question, not a statement, ask a question, to which he will give a reply. I see a hand right behind. Could you stand up, identify yourself, and
check. Good afternoon, everyone. My question directly goes to the last but not the least speaker, Sir Arshun Gunj. Sir, you have been giving us an entire portfolio of why India is functional. If I were to define NGO, that would be non-governmental organization. And by the turnout we have, I thank every one of you here. If NGO is so powerful, then why is the government of India still lapsing in terms of performance, in terms of credibility and HDI? Because clearly, if there's a coalition government of around 500 ministers, we have at least 5,000 social entrepreneurs, a sample of which are right in front of your eyes. Thank you very much.
So, to be honest, you know, two parts. When you call us NGO, to be honest, I feel bad. Because शायद ये अकेला ऐसा चीज है जो आप इस चीज से पहचाने जाते हो जो आप नहीं हो. इमेजिन कीजिए, मतलब आई एम नोन ए नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, मैं जो नहीं हूं वो मेरी पहचान है. दिस इज वेरी सैड. और कहीं भी रिटन डॉक्यूमेंट्स में एनजीओ वर्ड इस्तेमाल नहीं होता, तो वो तो कह रहे एक आइडेंटिटी की बात है. और दूसरा, हर एक सेक्टर की तरह जैसे जितने फ्रॉड कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में है, उतनी फ्रॉड ब्यूरोक्रेसी में, उतनी पॉलिटिक्स में, उतने वॉलंटरी सेक्टर में भी है. ये सब हम लोगों को बहुत साफ तौर पर जानना चाहिए. मैं नहीं मानता कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज नॉट फंक्शनिंग, वेदर इट इज द प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट ऑन द लास्ट गवर्नमेंट और वॉट एवर गवर्नमेंट इट इज. मुझे लगता है द पब्लिक इज नॉट फंक्शनिंग. हम लोग जैसे हैं, हम लोग उन्हीं लोगों को चुनते हैं. हम लोग कभी डिमांड नहीं करते. हम लोगों में सही गलत की शायद समझ नहीं है. हम एक चीज में बहते हैं तो बहते चले जाते हैं. यदि एक अवेयर जनता होगी, यदि जनता को अपने राइट्स पता होंगे, यदि जनता शॉर्टकट नहीं ढूंढेगी, तो शायद कुछ बेहतर गवर्नेंस यहां पर आ पाएगी. तो इस देश का जो क्रक्स है वो इसकी जनता है. पॉलिटिकल लोग कहां से आते हैं, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कहां से आते हैं? अल्टीमेटली हम लोग चुनते हैं ना उसको. तो आज कम से कम पिछले कुछ टीएम सेशन के बाद से इतना तो हुआ है कि इलेक्शन में हम लोगों की वोट का एक वैल्यू होनी शुरू हो गई है, जिसकी पहले कोई वैल्यू नहीं होती थी. बट यदि आज भी हम एक बार सत्ता चुनने के बाद हम उसको अपने पंजों पे खड़ा ना रखें, हम आवाज ना उठाएं, हम शॉर्टकट्स ढूंढें, तो आप कभी उम्मीद मत कीजिए कि यहां पे कुछ भी कभी परफॉर्म करेगा. इसमें बात ये नहीं है कि सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर और ये सब क्या करेंगे. हम लोगों की अल्टीमेटली देखिए, एक लास्ट बात मुझे बोलनी है यहां पर कि हमको जब स्पेशली गूंज को कोई डेवलपमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बोलता है तो मुझे समझ नहीं आता कि हमको डेवलपमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्यों बोल रहे हैं. क्योंकि देखिए, डेवलपमेंट can only take place when at least the society lives on a level of 0. So 0 to 10 is development. Now our large part of the society lives on the level of minus. जिसके पास 2 वक्त की रोटी नहीं है, एक जोड़ी कपड़ा नहीं है पहनने के लिए, प्राइमरी एजुकेशन नहीं है, पीने का पानी नहीं है, ऐसी बहुत बड़ी तादाद में पॉपुलेशन है. मुझे तो लगता ही नहीं कि हम उसके लिए डेवलपमेंट का काम कर रहे हैं. हम तो सर्वाइवल का काम कर रहे हैं. हम देख रहे हैं कि भाई ठंड में कोई मर ना जाए, भूख से कोई मर ना जाए, ABCD जरा सीख ले बंदा. तो डेवलपमेंट का काम हो कहाँ रहा है? हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो वाकई डेवलपमेंट के काम में लगे? और शायद यही हम कहेंगे नहीं कि हमारा फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, बट वो है क्योंकि इकोसिस्टम नहीं है. हमारे काम का कितने लार्ज स्केल काम हम लोग गांव में जाके कर ले, उसका इंपैक्ट हमको समझ ही नहीं आता. पीपीटी के लिए हम बना सकते हैं, फिगर्स लिख सकते हैं, जो मर्जी, बट यदि आप एक्चुअल इंपैक्ट देखें तो हमको टू बी ऑनेस्ट दुखी होता है. हमको समझ नहीं आता कि क्या वाकई हम लोग कुछ इंपैक्ट कर पाए हैं सोसाइटी में.
You'll get a chance later on for any rebuttal. I could enter. Could you tell your name also so that we can identify? Mic is on your right.
हाय, मेरा नाम कौशलेंद्र है. ये सवाल है तीनों लोगों से. पिछले 7 सालों से हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं रूरल में खास करके ज़्यादा और अर्बन में भी सबसे. और मैं हमेशा अपनी टीम से जितने भी लोगों से मिलता हूँ, ये सवाल मैं भी आपकी तरह भैया करना चाहता हूँ, लोगों से समझने की कोशिश करता हूँ. देश में एक ट्रेंड चल पड़ा है जहाँ पे मुंह की अट्टी में चाका पीस देना, आटा बना देना है, मुंह की चक्की में आटा बना देना है. हाँ, मतलब आपको अगर आटा चाहिए तो मुंह की चक्की में पीस लो, मस्त आटा बनता है. और ये एक ट्रेंड ऐसा चल पड़ा है. इस ट्रेंड को कैसे चेंज किया जाए? मैं पिछले 45 दिनों में अपने ऑफिस से निकल करके सुबह गांव में चला गया अकेले. ये सब पहले समझता था कि रूरल में लोग काम करना चाहते हैं सब कुछ. वहाँ पर भी अगर विदाउट आइडेंटिटी आप जा रहे हो तो सर काम ऐसा चाहिए जहाँ कुछ करना ही नहीं पड़े। मतलब काम, आपको काम भी चाहिए जहाँ कुछ करना भी नहीं पड़े। मतलब यू वांट मनी विदाउट डूइंग एनीथिंग। तो हाउ वी कैन एज ए यूथ टैकल दिस कल्चर? कहीं ना कहीं ये कल्चर जो है सब चीज़ पे हावी पड़ रहा है, चाहे हमारा गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर हो, कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर हो, या इवन एनजीओ वॉलंटियर सेक्टर हो। हाउ वी कैन एड्रेस दिस कल्चर दैट वी आर विटनेसिंग एवरी डे?
We've understood the question. Any of you who would like to take to answer?
So कौशल इधर पूरा आंसर नहीं करूंगी मैं, आधा फर्स्ट पार्ट, क्योंकि जो आपने कहा कि दैट फ्रेज दैट यू यूज, बेसिकली वी आर टॉकिंग मोर देन एक्चुअली मेकिंग थिंग्स हैपन, इज दैट द फ्रेज? हाँ, नो नॉट वी, आई एम सेइंग दैट फ्रेज ये चल रहा है, आप ट्रेंड कह रहे हो ना? हाँ, तो मैं बस एक चीज उस, ठीक है,
We understood your question now. We'll
मैं
get the
समझ
answer.
गई। मैं पहला पार्ट वो लेना चाह रही हूँ क्योंकि उस पे आई थिंक मेरा भी एक नजरिया है। मेरा ये नजरिया है कि जो लोग एक्चुअली काम कर रहे हैं और इतना जो काम हो रहा है उसके बारे में बात नहीं हो रही है, एंड तो ऑल्टरनेटिव नैरेटिव कभी सामने आएगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि जो बात हो रही है, जो कहानियां बन रही हैं, जो मीडिया आपको कहानी, मतलब हम भी मीडिया हैं, बट जो कहानी सामने आती है वो इसीलिए कुछ जो हम अभी करंट सिचुएशन वॉट एवर वी फेस politically or socially, I think it's a lot about the kind of narrative that is being painted, and unless people who are actually doing, I believe there are lots of people doing बहुत गहरा काम, और उनके what you might call, they stand for something that we believe is the idea of India, maybe quote unquote, but तो वो जब तक वो alternative narrative सामने आएगा नहीं, तो मुझे लगता है बात करनी चाहिए, बात दबानी नहीं चाहिए, हर बात सामने आनी चाहिए, बातें और होनी चाहिए, बट ऑब्वियसली बातें उन लोगों की होनी चाहिए जो एक्चुअली ग्राउंड पे दिखाते हैं। सो आई फील द नैरेटिव इज इंपॉर्टेंट। आई थिंक वी हैव फेल्ड एज अ सेक्टर, civil society sector, whatever, we have failed to really shout out this narrative, to present that there is a powerful voice. I think we need to do more than. So I just want, मैं थोड़ा सा उसको अलग से देख रही हूँ, लेकिन बाकी लोग उसका पूरा आंसर दे सकते हैं।
थोड़ा मैं इसमें इसका दूसरा पार्ट वो करूंगा कि एक तो पूरा अंडरस्टेटेड है, हम एज ए सेक्टर हम लोगों की वॉइस कभी है नहीं, और जो एग्जैक्टली सेम जो अशरफ बोल रही हैं। दूसरा ये है कि बहुत सारे लोग हम में से बहुत ओवर प्रोजेक्शन में लग गए, बिना ग्राउंड में कुछ भी काम किए हम लोग कुछ भी दावा करते हैं, आज पीपीटी में बनाते हैं, हम कहते हैं 100,000 लाइव्स चेंज। मैं लोगों से पूछता हूँ यार पूरी जिंदगी में तुमसे अपनी जिंदगी तो बदलती नहीं, 2 हैंडपंप लगा के कहते हो 100,000 लाइव्स चेंज। फिर एक बड़ा कॉमन हम लोगों में है, वी हैव अडॉप्टेड 50 विलेजेस, वी हैव अडॉप्टेड 30 विलेजेस। मतलब एक बच्चा इस देश में अडॉप्ट करना चाहो तो 2 साल लग जाते हैं, वो भी नंबर आने में मिलता है, फिर उसको जिंदगी भर परवरिश करते हो। 2 हैंडपंप लगाए, 20 पेंसिल बॉक्स बांटे, बोले वी हैव अडॉप्टेड अ विलेज। तो अभी क्या हो रहा है कि अभी ये वाला माफिया है जो हर जगह अवेलेबल है, स्पेशली जो आज का जो जमाना है फेसबुक का और ट्विटर का, और उसमें इस माफिया का कब्जा है। जो असली स्टोरीज है वो आ ही नहीं रही। हम लोग तो फिर भी बहुत किस्मत वाले हैं, हर साल XLRI में बुला लिए जाते हैं, इतनी बात करते हैं, बट जो असली काम हो रहा है वो तो गांव में हो रहा है। भाई जहां पे गवर्नेंस का जी नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट का जी नहीं है, वहां भी इंसान जिंदा है, किसी के तो अच्छे एफर्ट से जिंदा है, कोई ना कोई तो वहां काम कर रहा है और बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है, उसको हम आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करते, उसको हम रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं कर रहे।
थोड़ा सा ऐड मेरा नजरिया ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि आई थिंक एक इंक्रीजिंग प्रेशर सब पे है कि हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है। तो आजकल जो यंग लोगों के साथ हम लोग काम करते हैं, सबको लगता है कि यार 2-3 साल में मतलब जल्दी जल्दी बता दो, एक ग्रांट मिल जाए और मैं फिर नेक्स्ट अवार्ड पे पहुंच जाऊं। ठीक है, नोबडी वांट्स टू पुट 10, 7, 8 years ऑफ वर्क एनीवेयर। और आई थिंक एक प्रॉब्लम इसकी भी है कि एटलीस्ट सेक्टर के बारे में जो मैं जानता हूं कि आजकल इतने सारे अवार्ड्स हैं, इतनी सारी चीजें हैं, इतनी फेलोशिप्स हैं इंक्लूडिंग अवर्स, दैट बहुत आसान है घुसना। ठीक है, तो जो आपने बोला कि मुंह की चक्की मतलब टॉक शॉप, तो बहुत मेहनत कम करके इन जगह पहुंचा जा सकता है।
Yeah, thank you.
बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है।
Thanks. In fact, probably what is also required is an organization, a volunteer organization that promotes some of the activities. Like you or I volunteer, maybe we need to promote another organization that also promotes the work that which is publicity. Is that what you're trying to say? that does not exist right now.
I think what I'm trying to say is that we don't need more organizations promoting work of other people, because I think that culture of giving awards at the slightest pretext, creating fellowships which will send people to all over the world and all that, is creating a culture where people will spend minimum amount of time to get maximum mileage out of it. And that is why a lot of people who are basically talk shops are doing really well, and the people who probably don't speak English, who are like languishing somewhere in the rural areas, don't know how to fill a form, will just be there, and you know what I mean.
And many जो infant mortality की बात हो रही थी, उसकी एक वजह ये भी है कि आपने एक स्लम में 6 बच्चों को पढ़ाया, आपको सडनली लोकल मीडिया ने कवर कर दिया, आपको लगा वी हैव अराइव्ड, तो बस अब फिर आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस उसी लेवल पे जानी शुरू हो जाती हैं कि यार मैं ये काम किया, मेरे को मीडिया नहीं आया, रिकॉग्निशन नहीं मिला, किसी ने शाबाशी नहीं दी, अवार्ड नहीं मिला. वही जो राहुल भी कह रहे हैं कि जो लग के घुस के काम करने का बात है, जो बाबा आमटे टाइप के लोगों ने किया था, हम लोग यदि उसका 10-15% भी कर दें आज के जमाने में, तब भी जायज है, बट करें तो सही, क्योंकि फिर आप उस रैट रेस में पड़ जाते हैं. आपको वो प्रोजेक्ट उसी हिसाब से करना पड़ता है. एक बार यदि आपने 100 मिलियन लाइफ चेंज कर दी अपने पीपीटी में, तो अगले साल 500 मिलियन करनी पड़ेंगी, मजबूरी है, क्या करेंगे. यहां फंसे हुए हैं हम लोग सब.
Your name?
मनीष फ्रॉम फार्म्स एंड फार्मर्स. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अंशु को हम जरूर कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करेंगे. जनरली हम डाउट्स बहुत कम पूछते हैं, मतलब बचपन से डाउट्स काफ़ी कम होते हैं, या तो हमको सब कुछ पता होता है या कुछ भी नहीं पता होता है. सो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ दोज रेयर मोमेंट्स कि हम कन्फ्यूजन में हैं, एंड दैट्स बिकॉज ऑफ कि आपने जो भी बात शेयर की, आई थिंक मोर देन 90% वो फीलिंग है कि जब हमारा काम हुआ था और पहली बार दैनिक जागरण के रिपोर्टर ने हमसे पूछा था कि आप कितने ज़मीन पे काम कर पाए हो, कितना किसान मिला है आपको, तो हम सोचे कि क्या बोलें. 2 लोग थे, IIT से थे दोनों लोग.
Your question, please.
हाँ, वही बता रहे हैं. तो उसमें ये था कि लगभग 6 महीने के बाद हम लोग को 2.5 एकड़ जमीन मिला था. एंड हम लोग को लगा यार शर्म आ रहा है, कैसे 2.5 एकड़, जो आप बता रहे हैं कि 10,000 बोलना पड़ा झूठ, तो उनको हम बोले कि यार 25 एकड़ पे कर रहे हैं. तो वो रिपोर्टर बोलता है कि 2 IITian 6 महीने लगे और 25 एकड़, तो हम इसको लिखते ही नहीं है, कम से कम 100-200 एकड़ होता तो लिखते हैं. वहाँ से कहानी शुरू होती है और उसके बाद हम लोग उसमें चले जाते हैं. तो मेरा अभी जो मेन कन्फ्यूजन है वो ये कि मेरा काफ़ी बचपन से था कि ओवरऑल रूरल सेक्टर पे काम करना है, सारे सेक्टर.
Right now, let's not talk about some other companies. So, that's what entrepreneurship is in general. So, to begin with, I don't come from a corporate sector because I've never worked in a corporate sector. I don't come from an NGO sector either.